to.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, definitely glad to have you out today. As usual, get your pen and paper and some water, something to drink. We're about to get to it, right? One of my best favorite topics that we're going to talk about. But before I do that, so I don't forget, make sure you hit the subscription button at the top, the bottom, to the left or right. Crisscross it, however you want to look at it. Make sure you hit the subscription button and comment on anything that we like, that you like rather, throughout the course of presentation. So the lesson, what we're going to talk about today is how to become a loan officer, how to become a realtor, and also what's the benefit between both, okay? So we're going to talk about that, so make sure you got that. And as I always say, hey, let's get started. So now, what we want to talk about, and so let me just give a quick disclaimer. I never said I was very good at artwork or penmanship, okay? So y'all don't be talking about, well, he sure can't write. Absolutely. So before I do that, and I don't want to forget this, let me let you know, of course, who I am. As you know, my disclaimer about my writing and my artwork, right? My name is Fahim Muhammad. I am the Freedom Coach, a chartered senior financial planner. I am a licensed real estate broker, licensed mortgage loan officer, licensed insurance producer, and annuity producer. Also, that I am a licensed instructor for real estate. Also, I am a federal licensed mortgage loan officer instructor as well. I am an owner of a real estate company and real estate investor, and also owner of a financial school where we help people get licensed in these professions as well, certified estate advisors. So basically, as my parents used to say, I'm a little heavy, right? So I'm saying this information to you and just having a little fun, but seriously, to not just brag or boast, but bring to your attention some information that I heard or what I know. All right? So let's rock it. All right. So on the paper, I gave a disclaimer about my terrible writing, so y'all, we're going to work together. So I would like to, if you can't get your sheet of paper, and draw it down the middle. It's just a classification of categories we came up with. On the top, you can write down MLO. That stands for Mortgage License Officer, right? Mortgage License Officer, Loan Officer, a Mortgage Loan Officer, I'm sorry, I said License Officer, but that's really Mortgage Loan Officer, okay? Then you have REB, Real Estate Broker, okay? All right, so we want to have that. Now, the categories that you're going to write down, and how many categories do I have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have a total of 10 categories that we're going to compare and get some analogy to, and some comparison, contrast and comparison with each other. So the first category or area I want you to write down product, and that's going to go for both sides. I want you to write down skill. That's S-K-I-L, skill. I want you to write down test, because you have to get a license, got to take tests. We're going to talk about class. We're going to talk about license. Next category, I want you to write down fees, dues. Then the next one we write down office. I want you to write down work placement. I want you to write down pay. And I want you to write down contracts. Okay? Repeat that again. Product, skill, test, class, license, fees, office, work placement, pay, and contracts. So ladies and gentlemen, since I'm one of the best people, really are the best person to talk about this particular topic, one, because I am the licensed instructor that does both. Also, I'm licensed in both fields as well as other fields. And so I like both, love both, and I'll talk to you why I might pick one over the other, okay? So let's get ready to break into it. All right, so when you are a mortgage loan officer, what is the product that you offer? The product that you offer is you can help people purchase. Okay, so when you're the mortgage loan officer, you can help people purchase and refinance that property. I'm shorting it. So when you're a mortgage loan officer, your product is purchased, refinance, helping people get money out. All right, and so with refinances, of course, different kind of ways. It's rate and term, it's cash out. We got another topic that we do on that. Or you want to take money to invest. Okay, as a real estate broker, what is your product? You help buyers, which is for the purchase. Okay, and you list property where you work with sellers. Okay, so your product for a real estate agent, you work with buyers or sellers, and also either one of these can be an investor, just like on the mortgage loan officer, the person that's purchasing can be an investor as well. So if you want me to write that down, let me get another color and just write that down. So we'll also write down just investors, just in case you don't forget. All right? All right. So the clear distinction right here is, right here, I want you to see, you all, that as a real estate broker, you work with a seller, where a mortgage loan officer, they work with people to refinance. Those, the difference. Both of them share working with buyers. That's why the partnership is super important. Okay? Now let's talk about the skill. Okay? A lot of times people kind of confused. People want to become a real estate broker or real estate agent or professional because they say, I want to learn about real estate. That's kind of not the full truth, okay? When you get into real estate and work for a company, as you see, your primary job is to help a client to sell property and help their company make money. Your job is not to learn real estate. That can happen in time, but that's not what happens. Same thing with mortgage loan officers. Your job is to help people again or purchase and refinance property. Now, throughout the process of both of those, you learn some things. I would say as we get finished, we're going to see which one you kind of learn a little more about. So we want to talk about as a loan officer. You learn more. So the skill you're going to learn is financial about mortgages, and I'm abbreviating the real estate. Okay, you're going to learn about financial for mortgage and real estate, better known as, let me write this down, creative financing. Okay, so all those fancy things that you might see in my course or you see on TV about no money down and things like that, this is where you learn how to get the money, okay? With the real estate, the skill you're going to learn is, of course, real estate law and procedures, okay? All right, you're going to learn about real estate law and procedures of real estate, and sometimes a little overlap. Sometimes you're going to learn a little bit about the financial part of mortgage or real estate because it overlap, and vice versa. But that's the skill. Depending on where you at and what you want to do, which one? If you really want to learn real estate or learn about the numbers and how to make deals work, you would do the mortgage side. If you just want to make for sure that any property you buy, you want to list it and disclose, because you got to disclose that you're an agent and get some of the commission, then you may want to be a real estate a broker. But far as the learning, time is the thing that teaches you everything. I suggest real talk, because both of these are about helping the client first and then helping the company grow and make money. If you really want to learn about real estate, again, be a professional. Hire a professional like me, get professional results. Of course, on our website and our program, we got a course at Freedom Financial Institute at our school that we got not just licensed courses, but we got unlicensed courses as well. And also through our financial company, FTMG, that we offer a whole Freedom Flicks of stuff that you can learn from. All right. So now let's go to, so now on the loan officer test that you're going to take, it is $110. Now let me give a disclaimer. I am talking about a course in the state of Illinois. Some of these are standard and some of these do vary, but some of them are standard all over. The test for the real estate broker is $58. All right, so depending on how you look at it, they both, one's a little bit more, but again, price is only a concern in the absence of value. It don't matter if either one of them was $500 to take the test, because you have an industry that's going to be able to pay you now. Hey, you talking about 30, 40, 50,000 plus more a year for the rest of your life, as long as you keep your license active and you again be a professional, hire a professional like us, and get professional results and work with a professional team regarding that. So now we want to talk about the class. The class that this is pretty standard for the mortgage. You have to take 20 hours of class hours. Some states add anywhere between 2 to about 3 additional hours, but this is the standard. You for sure you gotta take the 20, and the classes will vary depending on a company. Our company is $299 for the 20 hours with all the full package and everything you get. For the real estate in our state, it has changed. It used to be higher, and then it went lower. It's 75 hours, okay? And that's a combination of the 60 and 15, 75 hours. And you're looking at our class is $599. Now, we got a package with $899 because we got, of course, a study book. We got a Sprint to Pass course, a tutoring course, a weekly review, just all this other stuff. But this is like, you know, the bare bones, right? So this is huge that you want to make sure you definitely know that. Now, you're looking at your license, because once you go to class, take the test, it's still not over. Y'all say what? It's not over. That's right. Before I forget, I want people to know it's not over yet. And for the people that stay to the end, we want to make sure you get one of our free books. This is a 2-book volume. Pretty much it's taking the certification and experience, 30 years, and kind of condensing it into a user-friendly that within a week you can get some basic financial principles that can change the rest of your life. The book, Making It Happen, Zero to Hero, How to Build Wealth with Money and Real Estate Investments. For the people that's on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching this at, you can get the book, everything for free. How it works is you go to makingithappen0tohero.com. You pay for the shipping and handling. We pay for the books. That's it. makingithappen0tohero.com. I'll make sure you get the books. That's what we've got for you. For the people that have stayed, watched it so far, stay to the end. I might even have some more good stuff for you, right? Right. All right. So right here, the next thing we want to talk about, like I said, is the license. So for the mortgage license, it's about $281 that you pay pretty much on the federal and the state level. What does this consist of? Also, I got to let you know, if you haven't paid your student loans, if you owe child support, if you got liens, and you're not paying your bills, might be a challenge, because a part of this 281 is going to be, of course, your background check. So you want to make for sure that you definitely have that. Over here on the real estate, it's $125 just for the application. Okay, that's the application to apply for your license. Again, some states have you pay your license up for 2 years at a time. It varies, but Illinois, this is just starting $125 application to kick it off. Okay, all right. The next thing that you got, this is huge right here. So we're going to talk about the end, which one benefit the most, the kind of money that you make, all that good stuff, right? The next thing we want to talk about, in order to be a professional, let me start right here, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I want to make for sure I close out in the next 5-7 minutes or so. That as a profession, as having any license, you have something what is called continuing education, because you are working with people's livelihoods, you're working with people's monies, and you need to, number one, be able to prove that you have some level of competency where you know how to help people. You don't want no doctor operating on you and they haven't obviously went to medical school, right? Why would you want somebody dealing with one of the largest, if not the largest investment that the average person makes at their home, and nobody they haven't been vetted at all, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be able also to pay your fees and your dues and continue education. And these things I need to be a professional. So now let's talk about it. We are talking about your the fees that you got to pay. So you got your MLS fees that you have to pay. Basically, this is about $900 a year. It can be a little bit lower, but that's about the average. Okay, this is about the average $900 a year. This means when you work for a mortgage company, you have basically some software, disclosures, applications, things that you learn throughout the class to make sure you do the 373 rule, which that's like huge and you learn about that in mortgage and real estate, right? The 373 rule, okay? But what's huge about it, this is basically companies pretty much, they used to just sell the disc, but obviously them days out, right? Everybody's financing everything, right? So basically you have to pay to use the software to be able to service your clients, to be able to market them to different mortgage companies throughout the country. So this is that fee that you pay to your broker to be able to do that. All right, so now let's come over here to the real estate broker side. Everybody have heard of something called the MLS. This stands for the multiple listing service, okay? So when you sign up for your first year, and this is, take a few different states, maybe a little bit, but basically this is going to be for the full year, okay? And then your bill going to come due at September. So when you first start, you might want to say this is your jump start fee. That's what we're going to call that's your jump start fee. So when you first start, and let me give a disclaimer. You can be a real estate broker and not be a realtor. You're like, what the heck is the difference, right? So I want to make sure so I don't forget you don't get confused. Oh, that's right. I want to get confused. Don't forget to hit that subscription button at the top, the bottom, left, to the right, or crisscross, wherever it's at to make sure you get it, right? But what's the difference? To become a real estate broker, you go to the class, pass the test, pay your fees, you are a real estate broker. To become a realtor and a part of the realtor board, and they have a state and national board, you have to pay the fees. You can't have your license without doing it, but when you are not part of a realtor board, knowledge, forms, contract, up-to-date, etc., MLS, you're not going to have access to it, and it's going to make your job almost impossible to do. And plus, the rule is definitely not state if the company is licensed in an office, a part of the board, you must be a part of the board. It's not optional, okay? So I just want to give that disclaimer, not to confuse. So that's $800 that you got to pay jump start off the front. Where my pocket? Yeah, $1,800 that you got to pay, okay? And this is for your state realtor board, your national realtor board, any other fees and all the other stuff that goes in there, okay? And initially sign you up for the MLS. And then probably what? Like I say, in that year, you're going to, because it's normally paid quarters, you're going to have another fee to pay, which is probably about $235. And then after that, your price is going to drop. And in the beginning of the year, somewhere probably, because this is like September, 9th month, and this is like the 12th month, and the 12th month is paying it up. So you're looking at, you're going to have anywhere $2,000 up front that you're going to have to pay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. You need that to, both of these you need to pay to do your business, okay? So we want to just make sure you understand and see the difference. I know people are like, yes, I got to pay out. Yes, we heard it saying you got to spend money to make money. But let me share with you how business owners look at things and investors. Don't worry about how much something going to cost. Worry about how much it's going to make you. And that's what we're going to talk about in a second. The next thing, far as office, right? When you are a mortgage loan officer, you're either working for, let me probably switch the color up. You're either working for a bank, you're working for a broker, okay, or a mortgage banker. Two different things, okay? So this is banks Credit union, stuff like that. All right. So, and it's a difference. So, the office you work at as a mortgage loan officer, you either working under a bank or a credit union, or you're working with the mortgage broker, which is what I am, and I share with you the different mortgage broker, or you're working with a mortgage banker or a mortgage banker. Now, real quick, we have other classes. We go over this, but for simplicity, what's the difference between a mortgage broker and a mortgage banker? A mortgage broker pretty much is, I guess for a lack of professional term, it's the mailman that gets you the money from what is called a wholesaler. Okay, and so therefore the wholesaler doesn't work with no clients. They work with the external investors to get money to give you a loan. Where a mortgage banker, they can be the investor that have their own money. So a mortgage broker don't have no money to give you. They are just a licensed professional that can get you the loan. Where the mortgage banker, they have to be licensed as well, but they have a warehouse credit of money where you are able to get loans from. They have access to, and they sell it to recycle that. Okay, and obviously you know your traditional bank. Now the difference is the bank don't have the flexibility that a mortgage broker and a mortgage banker have. They can trim rates and everything down in packages. The bank officer, the loan officer at the bank is just an employee there. They have no power, no control. Whatever came from the headquarters of New York or California, wherever that headquarters is, that's all you get. Well, with a mortgage broker, mortgage banker, a bank can never beat them in pricing. It cannot, because they don't have that flexibility and they're not in business for that. Okay? So I want to make sure to share it with you. Now, on the real estate side, you have what is called a sponsoring broker. Okay? And also a managing broker. Okay? All right, break it down. Forget my writing and my spelling. You get my point. Sponsoring broker and a managing broker. Now, let me say something before I forget this. You can only work by federal law with your license can only be placed with one financial institution. Doesn't matter if it's a bank or if you have a license placed with a mortgage broker or a mortgage banker. You can only have it with how many? One. All right, so let's go with real estate. Real estate the same way as well. You can only have your license with one broker. You can't have it with ABC Realty, XYZ Realty, or Diamond Star Realty. Cannot do that. You only can have it with one. All right, so let's just review the sponsoring broker and the managing broker. Now, some states may modify the name of what they call a managing broker is, but the concept and everything is the same. The sponsoring broker is the owner of the real estate company. Bottom line, okay? Now, what happens definitely in our state and most states, you must have somebody that's going to supervise, monitor, and make sure everybody's in compliance, trained, etc. in the office. That is called a managing broker, okay? The managing broker doesn't have to be a sponsoring broker, and the sponsoring broker don't have to be a managing broker. But the sponsoring broker got to have a managing broker run the office. I know I just confused the heck out of you, all right? So let me break it down. The sponsoring broker is the owner. The managing broker is the supervisor. The sponsoring broker and managing broker may be the same. For example, me. I'm the sponsoring broker at Diamond Star Realty Muhammad and Associates, and also I am the supervisor. I am the managing broker. So I have a real estate broker license, and the managing broker is an additional license you have to have. You can have 10 people in an office with a manager broker license, but only one of them can be listed with the state as the person that's going to supervise, of course, and monitor. Now, they can switch. Somebody could do 6 months, and somebody could do 6, or they could do a year. Normally, you don't want to switch more than twice a year because then the government think y'all running a bootleg shop, okay? So maybe once or twice a year to do that. So you want to make for sure that that happens. Now, the sponsoring broker, the owner of the company, believe it or not, does not have to be a managing broker. They don't have to have a managing broker license. Now, this is the caveat. They must hire one, Okay, so you could be the owner of a real estate company, which means you still got your real estate license, but you are not a managing broker, but you have to have a managing broker. Okay, and to be truthful, you can own a real estate company and still not have a license. It's just other documentation and things you got to sign to show that you're not getting paid any commission from any of the homes that are sold. But you're still going to need a sponsoring broker. So 90% of the time, the owner is the sponsoring broker, but you don't have to, for caveat. And that's not in all states. That's in most states, but not in all states. All right, so those are the difference within. Again, you can only work for one brokerage firm at a time. All right, so now we want to talk about the next thing, work placement, which I think I pretty much just talked about that. Work placement, one company at a time. So that's where it really goes there. One company. Work placement, you only can work in one company. All right, now, one company. All right. You only could work with one company. In order for you to leave with both of them, that the broker, the mortgage broker owner of the company must sign off on it, and the sponsoring broker must sign off on this. And you got to notify the state normally within 15 to 30 days. But again, if you got any outstanding fees, outstanding dues, any of those kind of things, they probably not going to sign off on it, but they can do that. All right, now let's go to pay. Okay. When it comes to pay, let me go and put some green on here because we finna get to some money, right? So on pay, you can get paid either commission or you can get a salary. All right, you can get paid commission or salary or a little bit of both, okay? Because if you get paid commission or salary, don't directly make you an independent contractor. So real quick, what make you an independent contractor? Number one, that they don't control your time and your hours, and over 90% of your compensation comes from commission. That's what make you an independent contractor, and you're responsible for your own taxes as any business owner anywhere in our country, okay? And so what happens is that sometimes you get a small, what is called a small base as a loan officer, whatever that is, and then you get a certain amount of commission that the last thing we're going to talk about is contract. Same thing with real estate. You can be salary or commission. What normally determines, in truth, if you get paid commission or salary is the type of company you work for. If you probably work for a bank, guess what you're probably getting? A salary. And nothing that any banks, loan officer work at a bank, but the motivation for a bank loan officer that's getting paid a salary and maybe some commission to help you close a loan, when somebody got to feed their a baby need a brand new pair of shoes on commission, the motivation is different. Okay, so I want to make sure that you got that. Real estate broker, you could be on salary and commission. And again, if you're working for a bank or you're working for a management company, you may not be paid commission, you may be paid salary. So you might need to be licensed to have a job, but because of how they run their business and you work for a management company, they could just be paying you a salary and not commission. Okay? But if you're working for a real estate brokerage firm, ABC Realty, you're probably getting commission. Okay? In closing, now let's talk about contracts. Contracts is the percentage of how you get paid. They are about kind of about the same. So basically, you're looking at mortgage loan officer, you probably get paid anywhere between 40%, same thing up to about 80% contract, same thing in real estate, 40% up to 80%. Now, this varies on companies because let's start over here with real estate. Some real estate companies, they just split everything down the middle. Nothing wrong with that, and that's the system. That's one way. Okay, and pretty much the companies that normally do 50-50, if they providing a lot of services, marketing, leads, and support, then that's why you don't have a high contract. Then you have some companies, okay, that pretty much are like e-lead companies. A lot of times that you see what are these companies? I think Red Line or whatever online, that they pretty much take in the same information that's on the MLS, and what they're doing, they turn it back around and they're selling them to real estate agents for buyer when people go in there and say, yes, I'm interested in buying a property. If a company provides you leads, then they may, of course, even pay you even a smaller. Then you got some companies now that pretty much are internet companies, and they allow you to get a higher contract. And if you experience, they don't teach you nothing. They don't provide you no service or nothing. And then those are independent companies. Then you probably got a company like ours, intra-dependent company, where number one, you get anywhere between 40-80% contract, and we allow you to build a team within a team. So depending on the company structure, of these 5 structures, neither one, I'm going to say, is necessarily better. Obviously, I favor ours because you get a chance to build a team within a team, have a company within a company. You get a chance to get promoted based on merit and promotion and not personality and on production. So that's huge. Same thing over here as mortgage loan officer. Our system works the same way. But normally with most mortgage companies, you're going to just get that 40% when you first start out because somebody got to train you. Once you probably get trained, whatever that may be, probation period for 30, 60, 90 days or 3 loans, whatever it is, then you probably be at 50% from there. And then some companies have it, again, if you were experienced and you have a track record of doing higher volume and you leave no training and you bring it in volume, then you may have a higher contract. Ours is gradual. Again, we pay on merit, production, and not personality. And so that's why people like with us. And so those are things. So in closing, just to let you know, these are the differences. Where statistics have shown that right now, mortgage loan officers right now are making more money than realtors. Loan officers are making 75 to 6 figures right now, and on the average in the industry at the moment, and we talking about the average, we ain't talking about everyone is making, real estate agents making anywhere between 30 to 60,000. And it's not necessarily one is better, it's what's happening in the market. Let me share with you why the loan officers at this moment are able to do just a little bit better, because people need money now. And guess they don't have to go through the rigmarole the same way you do to buy a house when you own it. Because the mortgage loan officer can do refinances, which means they can refinance and reduce people's interest rate. They can refinance and people can get cash out for debt consolidation. They can refinance for them to invest. So because of these reasons at this moment in the market, that of course loan officers are just running rapid. Realtors are still making money. They both are great professions. I do both. And some people say, why you do both? You can't get paid on the same deal. Ha ha! Let me give you this key thing before you leave. I'm giving y'all golden nuggets. Let me get ready to close out. That different states have different rules. But for the mortgages, the law says that you can be the loan officer and real estate agent on the same transaction. Number one, it must be disclosed beforehand and all affiliated business disclosures are signed. Number two, it cannot be a FHA or a VA transaction. You can't do it on conventional.